I'm strong in faith.
Faith can move mountains. Radio Maria, 91.3 FM.
The voice of truth.
Teach me, Uncle. Is somebody saying I can't sing to save my life? Don't fall my heart. Okay, I always have something I put there. Don't disappoint me. Welcome, everyone. And this is the program, Learn With Us. And you are on the dial, 91.3 FM Radio Nigeria-Abuja. How is your weekend going? If this is the first time you're joining us, thank you for tuning in. If you've always been listening to us, we love you. And what do we do on Learn With Us? Learn With Us is an educational program where we discuss everything boundary around learning, how these students can learn without tears, security, how the teachers can impart good knowledge, how the schools can make the place conducive, not just having a good landscape, not just beautiful structures, but that every material that they're supposed to provide are well provided. Even the curriculum, what goes in, what are the books that you find in the library and for this that are being endorsed for these children to study. And again, policy makers. We discuss about how the policy makers can make good policies, follow up, execute, and ensure that the educational sector is up to speed and that the people, the output from there are able to compete globally. Because with the recent, happenings and changes with everything that is being deployed now to teaching, nobody should be behind. And we talk about parents as well. What are their contributions? Is it just to pay the tuition fee? What is their support? If with the student, you that is being imparted on, what are you doing? How far are you going with the knowledge? These are many more. And also the things that are not taught in the classroom, but are very, very vital to the student. Who are their role models? Who are the influencers? The gatekeepers, stakeholders, everyone is concerned when we talk about education. And here we'll let you know the difference between the certification, which is paper qualification, and the skills you acquire. We'll let you know that is the balance. That certification is supposed to be a proof that you have learned something. But if you just go and get the certificate and you did not get the true knowledge or skills required, you are not just doing yourself a disservice, but also the nation at large. So these and many more are what we discuss on Learn With Us. Again, you are welcome, and my name is Eswana Jane Avoidoya. My co-presenter, don't worry, he will soon be here. And of course, you already know his name. Okay, when he comes, he's going to introduce himself by himself with his mouth. So now, as we always start here, we start with the Academia Spotlight. On our Academia Spotlight today is the person of Cyprian Emeka Uzo. They call him Iche. Iche is somebody who has gotten over 350 patent right from the US. Is US based, is a Nigeria-US based tech person. He's been able to do a lot to revolutionize the technology world. And he said that he's even a father-in-law to one of these tech giants who, works with Apple. The Apple thing, whether is your laptop, whether is your phone and all that. So there's quite a lot for you to know about him. So we are saying, well done, sir, and congratulations. Thank you for always, joining the people who help to put Nigeria on the spotlight in a good way. There are a lot of things that Nigerians are doing. So don't just listen to the ones that you hear that make people, kind of uncomfortable. Beyond that, Nigerians, whether home or abroad, are doing a lot. So this is what we always bring to you here. on this segment of Academia Spotlight, just so that you are encouraged, regardless of the news that you're hearing here and there, because we have over 200 million people. So if less than 1% or even 1% or even 2% or 3% are not representing us well, it is not a yardstick to generalize that Nigerians are not doing well. Of course, we know that Nigerians are doing well. So be inspired. Be inspired. Whatsoever it is that you have set your heart to do, that is good, be inspired to do it. Our topic of today is we're going to be analyzing the recent JAM result. And we're going to do a bit of the talk on the miracle centers. What are their connection? Miracle centers, and analyzing the current JAM result. Don't go anywhere. The program is still Learn With Us. We'll be back after the break. Are you not going to say welcome back? Okay, welcome back. The program is still Learn With Us. I told them that you're going to say your name when you come.
They already know my name.
Are you serious? I didn't know you were M8 man about town.
All right, my name is Bernard Afanabere, also known as Uncle Ben. Of course, Learn With Us is the program we are in. Jane,
Why are you
for the
Jane?
first time, I want to ask you.
Don't ask me why I'm like this, why I'm dressed like this. Don't ask me where I'm coming from.
Like, what do we have today?
What do we have today? It's Learn With Us. And we are analyzing the recent JAM result, connecting it to miracle centers.
All right, so dear listener, of course you're aware that it's no longer news that the long-awaited JAM results are out. And from the analysis given so far, I want to briefly read it out. Out of the 1.8 million result that was released, 0.5% scored above 300. That's about 8,401 students scored above 300. 4.2% scored 250 and above.
4.2 or 42?
4.2.
4.2.
Yes. While 24% scored above 200. Then you don't want to listen to
Majority.
this.
Majority wins the vote.
not in this case.
Okay.
76% of the students scored below 200.
Okay.
This represents about 1.4 million out of the 1.8 million results that were released. And this is something to talk about. Okay, now if I'm a teacher, right, I'm going to talk from that perspective. If the result of my students are released and I discover that half the class failed, I know something is wrong. But this is not just half a class. We're talking about out of the 1.8 million, 1.4 million scored below 200. And
I'm sorry, just to pause you there. Most of the courses, the requirement, is about 200 and above.
At least 50% of the scores in JAM. So if you're going for any serious course,
no courses on serious. You say certain courses.
Certain courses, rather. You are required to score at least 200.
At least 200. And now 76% are like down the hill.
Now, the most shocking thing is that we still have more than 2 million students who have not gone to school yet. They're already waiting on the pipeline. So now, I want you to look at, let's place this thing side by side. If someone scored 200 and another score 120, who will you consider for admission?
Okay. 200, 120.
So if number one is Iran, will someone look for number two?
No.
Nobody will look for number two. So I don't know. So who do we blame? Who do we blame now? Jane, I'm asking you, who do we blame for this massive, I want to call it massive failure. So who do we blame in a situation like this? Should we blame the parents? Should we blame the students? Should we blame the teachers? Who is responsible for this kind of?
For me, I just feel there is something that is not connecting. Because these are supposed to be persons who have been taught from JSS 1 to SS3, supposedly, spending 6 years.
Yes.
Yeah. And aside from that, most of them, or when JAB is approaching, not some of them, most students, yeah, depends on the schools where they are attending, they focus to give them that specific to ensure that they are able to scale this. And aside from that, aside from the school, they do well and beyond, yeah, the school and the classroom to take extra classes. So is it that during those extra classes, some things did not come out, or is it that they just get to the examination hall and they are surprised by the questions they see there? Or is it that there are some things, and if you look at some of these persons, these are the persons that you see that they are scoring 10 A's, 11 A's.
India,
WAEC and on NECO. Then when they come to JAM, you see somebody with 10 A's, 12 A's is getting below 200.
Some below 100.
Or some below 100. So how were they able to come about, those other A's?
Are you now trying to interview me?
You are the teacher now, so you put it back to me and say, Jane, who is it and all that. So I'm just telling you now that there are some missing links.
Yeah, so now we're going to find those links. Probably our listener, they will call in and help us with those missing links, and we'll try to find a way to connect them. But if you ask me particularly, that learning, whatever parents are doing, whatever teachers are doing, they are only assisting. It is like you are heading somewhere, Jane.
Yeah.
You are heading from here, let's say from here to Maraba. And then along the road, I said, okay, this is the way to follow. I'm only showing you direction to the way to go to your destination. But when the bulk of the work is left to the person showing you the road, it becomes a problem.
And you're not even willing to take that road.
Take that road.
That's if the person is showing you the right way. That's another thing.
Of course, I think there is a problem. There's a problem we need to truly solve. Someone who is going for JAM, let's say tomorrow, is busy watching movie today.
Yeah, that's another thing, because I saw one of those ones and the person was saying, she was so proud to say that I did not even study. I went in to write this JAM and I got so score.
You can look at that now. So preparedness is one of those things, key factor. Like most of the students, the bulk of the students who did not get up to 200, the bulk of them is traceable to distraction, social media, lack of willingness to study, and commitment to their future. The bulk of them.
Yeah, because I remember there was one recently, we're just talking about something and she used this as an example. Yeah, that she finished secondary school. She finished secondary school about a year now. And it's been like after a year she finished secondary school. And totally she just closed her books and kept her books. And that when it was time to write JAM, she's registered, she didn't realize that, this is something for me. So by the time she went back and started reading that, she completely forgot, this were her words, that she totally forgot everything. She had to start afresh again, had to go in, register for classes again. So that's another thing. Yeah, in preparing, some people just feel, okay, JAM is just one day. Unlike WAEC. WAEC that take like some 30 weeks. They just feel jam is just one day, it's just a few hours. So I can just do 2 quick hours and knock it out. But they've forgotten that these questions that are going to come are not just questions of the questions that you were given in your first term SSC.
But do you know that, Jane, it is actually easier to write WAEC than JAM.
Yeah, because of the preparation that goes
It's
in.
easier to write WAEC than JAM because in WAEC you're expected to write some, there is essay part, you write. No matter what you've written, they're going to give you 1, 2, 2 mark. But in JAM, if you fail one OBG, you failed it, right? So, and it's very difficult to write JAM. Like I in those days, when I wrote my JAM, I was at home for about 6 years.
Before you write, before you wrote
yeah,
JAM.
before I wrote my JAM. So within those period, I didn't leave my book.
Okay.
Like I have the hope that I'll one day go to school.
Okay.
So I was studying. I scored above 200, right?
Okay.
Even after 6 years of leaving secondary school. But these are people who are in SS3. They have been in school system.
Yeah,
all this
there was
while.
no break.
There was no break. So why should you score less than 200?
Or is it that some of them, there were some things that they were able to maneuver when they were in the class, in the school, and they were not able to beat the system when they came to JAM?
But
we look at it again
we also want to look at it from that direction because the bulk of the people who wrote this JAM are from the rural area.
Okay.
How many of them have access to computer where they are? Okay, imagine you are called to come and write JAM. You are seeing the computer for the very first time. The person guiding you say, put in your registration number, whatever, and then start writing. How do you even, do you even know where to click? Right? It's still a problem that many people in our rural area don't have access to computer.
Yeah.
And so they are the set of people writing this JAM. So how do you expect, is it magic? How do you expect them to even pass the JAM? Look at the result have been released so far. You go to Abuja, City Center, Kwara, you go to River State, you go to Abia State. City centers, they are the people scoring these 300 and above. Mention one person from the village that has scored up to 300.
Okay, and this brings us to the previous one because it's out there, some certain research has shown that in the past 4 years, out of the about 6 million persons that has passed JAM, about 4 million were still not able to get admission.
Yes. So where is this?
From 2021 to 2021, 22, 23, no, 2022 like 2023 or 2024.
There are so many factors responsible.
4 years.
Yeah. So
and they said,
responsible.
but you see, that is huge for me.
Very.
I mean, 6 minus 4, that's 2. So if out of 6 million, about just 2 is getting
it's
admission.
better for you to consider setting up a higher institution, Jane.
No, if
maybe the 4 million people are waiting for you.
No, if I set up mine, it's not just going to be that you're just pushed in because somebody told you to come and study this course because your mother wants to be called mama doctor or papa lawyer. Yeah, this is just going to be on skills assessment, talent assessment. We're going to really assess you to know the areas you are best in.
Yeah.
The things that you can do very well, the things that comes to you naturally is with that we're going to put you in our school.
Do we have a university like that in this country?
Don't worry, it's coming up. It's coming up.
All right, so I can't wait for you, Jane.
So
just bring it up.
Yes.
So the 4 million people are waiting at home already.
Exactly.
Right now, 1.4 million
we join that.
will join that. They have private university will take some from here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But how much can they take?
Yeah, that's another thing.
Who can even, how many can afford?
Yeah, from this, because if this is coming from, if bulk of them are coming from the rural area, so can they afford the fee? And that brings us to another, okay, it's out there that even the JAM, the authorities are saying there are certain factors that make it difficult for these persons to gain admission. They talked about the selection, the subject selection.
Is that now one of the reasons why you see there are miracle centers everywhere.
Because I want us to talk about that too.
We will need to talk about miracle center. Like I've mentioned in this program before, that a friend told me that I think that's a few years back. There's this particular school that student paid a huge amount of money so that they could be helped during mathematics exam. Of course, mathematics is one of those subjects you must pass at least to get into the university. And so the external invigilator that came did not allow them to cooperate. That's
the word cooperation.
Yes, did not allow them to cooperate. So what happened then was that the proprietor of that school did not do anything. He just allowed the invigilator, they submit the paper, they took the paper, and off they went. So what happened was that the proprietor went to the exam unit in the local government and bribed his way through, got new script, and the children returned back at night to write that maths exam. Why do we have miracle centers? Why are students not willing to learn? Why do parents support their student, their children, to go to miracle center to write exam?
Because it's very easy for you to maneuver at the miracle center, but when it comes to jam,
you can't maneuver there.
That's what we're saying.
Right?
All this.
You can't maneuver there. So I will not blame.
And
jam.
recently now, it was even today I saw that in the news that a certain school, go there and look it up. I'm not going to mention and all that where it is. If you even see the name, it's very funny. There's some allegations now that particular school presented about 400 and something students for this recent jam. Or is it jam or why one of them? But meanwhile, if you check, the students in that school are not up to 200.
Okay, so we.
I mean, from GSS 1 to SS3. So the other ones, so where are they from? So where are they from? And they said that the educational board, the secondary school, is very much aware that it was even from there that they did the entry to give them money so that they are able to present this person. Yes, it's for WAEC, to present them for WAEC. 420 something. Meanwhile, JSS 1 to SS3, they are not up to 200 students.
Oh, okay. Now, these are questions begging for answers. And where do we go from here?
And no, one of the reasons they gave for this miracle center is that now, because for you to be able to, aside from you to be able to get it fast and be able to get into the higher institution, is that politically you need at least SSC certificate for you to be able to run for a certain office.
And some just need it just to add to their
exactly.
CV,
They said that's one of the reasons why these persons are doing that.
Last year, there's someone that I know last year. She wrote work. This is someone that can hardly construct one complete sentence.
Okay.
You know that. Okay, so
we would like to start taking your call. Okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello. Yeah, good evening, Maria.
Yes. Good evening, sir.
I greet your guests. You are talking very well. My name is Barry Hassan.
Okay. All right.
Road. Yes, of course, you have said it all. They need to overhaul our educational system. You see, let me say something that is very germane and very, very important. We have to move away from conducting examinations where students are forced to cram, memorize facts, and they just come and pour it down. And after the examination, they forget what what they wrote. We should begin to adopt a continuous assessment system that regularly evaluates the intelligence of students By doing this, you're able to properly gauge the intelligence of a student. Because cramming is a temporary retention of facts that disappears after some time. Continual assessment is a permanent feature because it is part of us. You see, let us ensure that we place premium on an importance on the practical application of knowledge. You see, right now, we just emphasize the acquisition of academic knowledge without placing importance on practical entrepreneurial knowledge.
Yeah, its application.
Without knowing anything, how to apply their knowledge. I know, right? That's why we have mass unemployment all over the place. Let us begin to infuse practical knowledge in our students, and have been progress in this country. May God bless us. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much,
much.
Barrister.
Thank you.
He's 100% right.
Yeah, very valid.
Our high institution prepared people to look for job, right? I think we need to just open the phone line.
Yeah,
so
the
that,
phone line is already open. Number to call. Okay. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Abba, and good evening, Professor Benny. Williams from Juba.
Oh,
you.
good evening, sir. We've missed you on this program. How have you been?
I'm okay. How about you?
Yeah, we are doing well. We're doing okay.
Yes, let me start my speech by saying that the computer based examination of JAM is a disservice, a total disservice to those who are from the rural areas. Do you know why?
No,
They
sir.
don't have access to computers
Yeah.
to train. Before you can write a computer-based test and pass it, you must have drilled over and over so that you become very conversant with the system. Then these people are coming from very disadvantaged areas, and you bring them to come and be writing jam with computer. What do they know? Nigeria tells them it's just a crash program. They go to a business center and maybe they were not properly drilled. They didn't have enough time to allocate it to them during their training. And the next thing, they are going to write jam with a computer. So I'm one of the products of the rural areas. I know what I suffered during my time, though it wasn't a time of a computer test. I wrote my jams, I wrote twice.
Oh, so sorry. And your points were, very valid. So the number to call is 081-084-47518. 081-084-47518. Call us, let us know your input concerning the topic we are discussing. We are analyzing the recent JAM result, connecting it to the Miracle Center, looking at why people failed massively
in JAM and do well in why.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I think my own suggestion is that Nigeria at this stage, I won't say we have grown up to that stage, but I won't say we have not getting up to this stage. But the children who in schools they are not taught with computer, they are not having computer in front of them.
Yeah.
Most of them don't even know about computer or few. Like just that last call I just said, some of them have seen computer, but maybe they are not properly trained on how to use it. And when they get there, they look at the time. You just look at it. 70% fail. It's not making any sense. It's not making it. And by next year, now parents should be maybe preparing to enroll their kids. I think I would suggest that these things they should start preparation early. So how many public schools have computer? How many students in the public school uses computer? During our days, we only go to computer class maybe once in a week, and the computers are all locked up in a computer room. So I don't even think I was opportune to attend computer class like 2 times out of from JS3 to SS1. I mean to SS3. You go there, the place is filled up. Few computers is what is available. So I think it's not just fair that the students are not taught with computer at the end they go to write an exam with computer. I think it's not fair at all. That's my own submission here.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
At
much.
least you were lucky to see a computer then. Me, I didn't see one back in secondary school. I didn't get to see one.
And that's something of a great concern, because how do you, it's just like somebody who has never gone beyond using a boat or a tricycle, then all of a sudden you just take the person and put in front of, an aircraft.
Not even a car.
Not even a car. So what would be the first response or reaction of that person?
But if we last year, it was a bit better.
Okay.
But I'm telling you that the children of this generation are fortunate. They are born into the technological.
Hello, good evening. Please turn down the volume of your set. Hello, are you there? Okay. Please do well to turn down the volume of your set before you call so we can hear each other. The number to call is 081-084-47518. We're still talking about analyzing the recent JAM result, why the massive failure, and that this person do well in the secondary school. You see them having A's, but when it comes to JAM, we're looking at it over 76%.
76%.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Usman, calling from Gaikitu.
All right.
Usman, go ahead.
Yeah.
Your point.
Well, let me start with, you see, this issue of a mass failure of JAM.
Yeah.
I think for all, let me say, all and sundry in Nigeria has to be concerned about this, because it shows that the quality of our education system will keep on, let me say, having this issue. And this failure is not it's not for the first time, and it will continue unless, let me say, drastic action was being taken. For instance, the problem is multifaceted, starting from the students themselves, the parents, the, let me say, management of schools, and the government at large. Now, let me start with the student. You see, nowadays, students don't have that culture of reading. What they are after is just to pass exams. And at the end, if you don't have the, let me say, technical know-how to even operate a computer, imagine, for instance, me, when I wrote my JAM in 2014, it was, then computer-based was optional and they are expensive. So I go for the computer because I try to, let me say, go and train myself outside. Because out of our school, it is a public school, you hardly see a computer to pleasure. Not even the theory aspect, but the practical aspect, you hardly see it. So from the part of the parents too contributed a lot, because most parents now want to fast track their child, just want to see them in university. After all they have is not their concern. They just want to have the certificate. And again, for the, let me say, the management of the school, you see, this time around, many people, unlike the olden days, you could see supervisors supervising, and you will never bribe them because they have integrity.
Yeah.
Another aspect I want to talk is just corruption, because all these things centered around corruption. The miracle centers that we talk about is corruption. All these things and government is not doing. For instance, now even when you look at the budgeting aspect of education in Nigeria, right from the federal government to the state government, it's not something to write home about.
Yeah.
So I think as a whole now, the problem, let me say, lies from the government, because government has to give the direction. Anybody that is involved, let me say, in corruption, government has the coercion means to discipline such people. And again, for instance, you talk about something that I need to even emphasize on.
Okay.
You see, with regard to, let me say, seeking admission.
Okay.
Yeah, when it comes to seeking admission, at the end, some students will made it in the JAM, but they will not have, let me say, their NECO or their WAEC intact. For instance, maybe their combination, if they are sciences, they will not have chemistry or biology or something of that nature. And again, another thing, corruption is so. Our various, let me say, institutions now, you see someone that score 300 and above will not get admission, but someone that score 180 or 177 will get admission. It is something that I know, because I came from Kaduna State, let me say Zaria in particular. Okay. You see, all this, unless we address this issue, I want, let me say, the federal government to chip into these our various institutions, because a lot of corruption, admission were being given because of money, nepotism, who you know, all these things, and they are not helping us. And at the end, it is we that will suffer, because these people, when they have graduated through all those means, they are the ones that will be in private and public sector, driving the economy, driving the political aspect. So you see, all this is something that we need to be concerned and call upon those that were all stakeholders to at least come to. And again, for instance, now lastly, what I will say here is that we shouldn't be, let me say, looking at the JAM aspect. Okay. Because many institutions now, they admit students without even JAM. What is the government doing? And here we are forcing students to buy JAM, how many thousand, and every year. And even there was a law, maybe once in a while, I don't remember the year, that they even passed the law in National Assembly that JAM has to last like 4 to 3 years. 3 years. It wasn't implemented. It wasn't implemented. Every year, student has to be exploited to go and write JAM. And it's not that maybe he doesn't know anything. Basically, something will happen. Maybe you don't know how to operate computer, or even the technical, the logistic aspects, or even the JAM themselves. Their system at times will fail in various computer centers. It happens. So all these things, I think, this JAM issue is just a kind of exploiting the student the more. Because now you see, you are forcing students to, and some other institutions we are now admitting students based on JAM. So what are we saying now? It means that there is something, let me say, there is something needs to be done to address that issue. May God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all your valid contribution.
I think this is massive.
This is massive, you know.
It's talking from point of convention.
And look at the nepotism thing, and look at the way the people move into offices. And hello, good evening. Please turn down the volume of your set, please. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, Radio Maria.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Solomon the Republican.
Okay, the Republican.
Yes, my submission about this JAM issue is great.
Okay.
One, our government has to fight corruption.
Okay.
Why should a student got his cutoff mark and is not given admission? Why? No. Why? A student, in fact, in our university here in Abuja, I know of a parent that took JAM to court. His son got an admission and was not given. And at the end of the day, the matter died like that. It's not correct now. That's one aspect of corruption. Number two, excuse me, our citizenry, how many of their children, how many people have computer in their houses? You are subjecting somebody to a computer-based exam in a nation. And it's like you don't care whether they pass it or not, because if computer is a compulsory course, that means from SS1 to SS3 every student must do computer. Then when they go to write jam, they will not mute a back jam. But these people are totally novice of the computer. And then that scratch training for 2-3 weeks, they go and train, and you expect them to perform well. They will not perform well. They will not perform well. So the government must wake up. We are talking about leaders of tomorrow, for God's sake. The government must wake up to do the needful. Jam exam should be either computer-based optional or no computer-based at all. Because it's not helping the nation, Nigeria, in any way.
Like, are we not going backward? Like, if you say this,
you have asked me the right question. If we are not going backward, then the government must do the needful. Put computer in place in schools. These schools are controlled by government or the private sector. Government should make it a law. Put computer in school, since we are in a digital world. But you cannot say we are in a digital world and in our schools we don't have a computer. Then you expect somebody to write down with computer and go to exam. It will not work now. Then the one of Miracle Center, the government is aware of it.
yes,
What are they doing about it?
absolutely nothing.
So me and you, who are maybe at the bottom line, what do we have to do? The government should fight it. Because at the end of the day, it will continue and become worse than we think. Excuse me, let me ask you a question. How many of these politicians, as it were, leaders, senators, their students are schooling in Nigeria or writing jam here?
The lawmakers.
Jane, it's you. He's asking you that question.
Oh, okay, you asking me the question.
I'm asking both you and our guy in the studio. They are not in our country, for God's sake. So, my dear, it is us. Those who are the bottom line that will suffer it. Public school, a miracle center should not exist. Because at the end of the day, we pretend as if nothing is happening and the educational system is damaging. And nobody cares. At the end of the day, you get graduates who cannot write their name and they pass WAEC. How did they pass it?
Exactly. So.
These are issues that we must take and fight. The National Assembly must wake up and do the needful. Of course, education is the bedrock of every nation. It is important the government should help our country. The government should wake up and do something. Now, those who cannot go abroad, if they cannot be well tutored, excuse me, their numbers is much. Even private schools that are even like we are the best. Take a data survey and go to the schools and see how many times they do computer lecture in a day. It will amaze you. You begin to cry for Nigeria. Nigeria is a project that should be succeeding. Nigeria is a giant in Africa. Nigeria is a name in the world that should be renowned. I remember growing up, when you hear Nigeria, other countries begin to panic. I'm not joking. But now it's like this Nigeria. What do they have? Education, this one, that one. Other people, students from Ghana and some other places, they talk to us because our education is gone. May God help this country. May God make our leaders and parents, guardians to repent. Do not look for shortcut exam for your children so that tomorrow will be better. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Thank you for
this
contribution.
Mr. Republican. Very valid. And he said,
Jane,
wake up.
Do you know
the policy makers, wake up.
Do you know that we will continue to blame the policymaker?
The other thing, they say honesty is the best policy. But when the policymakers are not honest, so where comes the best policy? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. My name is Mr. Success from Lube.
Okay. Success.
Thank you. Concerning this jump matter, so many people are complaining about the issue of students don't, know the how to use the computer and the rest. This will actually the cause of the math failure. For me, that is not the failure. That is not actually the start of the issue of math failure. I remember when we growing up, when we write jam. What exactly did we write do during the writing of jam by the computer? you not just right click, left click, scroll up and scroll down, then you submit after you might have finished selecting the right answers that you know that is the answer to the question. So there is nothing like they do not know how to operate computer, which led to the issue of math failure. If you don't read, there is no way that you pass. What I understand is that students these days, they don't read. That is the part. Parents are trying. Yes, they sometimes they force their children to read. Sometimes they pretend as if they are reading. They are not reading.
That's true.
Most of them are engaged, very engaged with social media. You know, watching TikTok videos and doing all manner of things on social media. And most of them, all manner of things. Failure is failure. That is what I know.
Yes. We can't paint
maybe
it.
they don't know how to operate computer. That is the reason why all schools don't have a computer. Or government school does not have a computer. No, they have, and they are using it. Some of them knows how to operate it very well. This our generation, because the kinds of intelligence they even have, we don't even have now. So there is nothing like they don't know how to operate computer. Our phone is a computer on its own, and most of them they know how to operate it very well. So what is there? If they know how to read, you read this one. I believe before they started the writing of the exam, they give them orientation on how to operate this thing. It is not hard. You scroll up, okay, select this one, let's have to select it.
Yeah, and some wrote this jam
so if you don't read, if you don't know, you don't know it. You feel. That is your way. Nobody should attribute it to anything. Not failure is not failure. They feel. They don't know it. That is what I understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Very
Mass
valid
failure is
contribution.
mass failure.
Yeah, because it's saying if you don't study, there is no way. There will be miracle when you face the computer.
But Jane, when a farmer is lazy, he
Yeah.
tend to blame every other thing.
Even the working, implement, they will say it's the cutlass that is not sharp enough. They will say, the ground is somehow, this was not how it was yesterday, things like that. So it's really a thing of a great concern for us.
Yeah.
So you see, everyone has a part to play in this. The schools, that is the miracle, I wanted to call miracle working center. I don't know again what to say.
Center.
Miracle centers.
But Jane, before let me come to here. Do you know that about 60% of the students in this country are in private school?
60%?
More than 60% are in private school. I mean, to secondary school now. And more than 80% of the secondary school in rural area are miracle center.
That's alarming.
Yes. So it means that if they are collecting money for cooperation, why not channel that money to buying computer set for your school so your student can practice, right?
Hello, probably our last call for today. Turn down the volume of your set, please. Hello, good evening.
I want to tell you about.
Oh, we very like you to call back, even if it's for 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. Want to hear that thing you want to tell us?
We want to hear what you want to tell us. But the thing is, aside from using that corporation fee to just buy a computer, invest more in letting this person, imparting the right knowledge, imparting.
Do you know that some of them don't even pay their teachers well?
Some
teachers are paid like 5,000 naira.
Okay, look at that school where they say they gave 400 and something names. Meanwhile, everybody there is about 100 plus. They said they don't even have up to six teachers.
You see?
Up to 9 teachers. So who teaches from GSS1 to the SS3? And they don't have up to 9 teachers.
So
you see what we're seeing.
They are presenting 400 students for external examination. So
and meanwhile, the total combined is not up to 200.
See.
So it's a lot. It's a lot.
I know stakeholders are listening.
Yes, stakeholders are listening.
Something urgently need to be done, especially this current WAEC that is ongoing now. Something need to be done about allow this student.
Yeah, let's take our last call for today. Okay.
Let's allow this student to study and write the exam.
Yeah. It's all right to fail. When they fail, they learn from where they failed and they are able to, stay or take it on again from there.
It's a big problem.
Yeah.
I know that.
Because I don't know if there's anybody that will say
if
he or she has never failed
yes.
in this life in one aspect or the other.
But the bulk of this discussion center on the student.
Yeah, and you,
Right.
the student, it is you, it is your future,
It is
because
your
it's going
future.
to affect you a lot.
Imagine that you didn't score up to 200 and you're denied admission. You are going to be the one wasting a year at home. And of
Yeah.
course, when you stop reading, you start dying. What is in your brain start going. So it is more difficult to write JAM the second time than the first.
Yeah. And again, if you were helped through all these miracle workers, to get some
Miracle workers.
okay through miracle centers to get some certain scores, you are still going to face it. It's still going to come down on you heavily, because you won't be able to bring out the best that you have. You won't be able to defend anything, not even defend it. You won't be able to contribute as much as you should if that actually came from you. I think
And that's why do we have more highest level of unemployment in the country?
Exactly.
Because most of the people waiting, they don't have anything to offer.
Yeah, nothing to offer. It's
Nothing to
just
offer. So
this.
if you have something to offer, will you wait for government?
Exactly.
To do the
You
job?
won't really wait for government. There are ways that you can, creatively put out things out there. Even as we know that the atmosphere, we have a lot of bureaucratic bottlenecks also, but there is no way you won't be able to sell yourself, sell what you have. Yeah. So that goes for everyone, whether you're a parent, you're a guardian, you're a student, you're a school owner, whether you're a policy maker, everyone is involved. I think we're drawing the curtain here today.
Yeah, I think we have to so that we can give way for the other people to come in.
Yeah, and so that we can go to our vocation and fun corner.
Alright, Jane.
What is it now?
Well, fortunately,
Yeah.
before we take the fun corner, do you know that my student, we are among the top? Like, we are not even, none of my students fall within the 76%.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
That's cool. Congrats.
we are doing a lot.
Congrats.
But trust me, thank you very much.
Congratulations to you and everyone
Please,
out there.
don't just congratulate me. You can just get a bottle of champagne.
What do you mean, champion? I beg you, puff later.
Puff. All right, Jane. So let's go to vocation and fun corner.
Yeah.
Enough of this seriousness, Jane.
Mm-hmm.
What is CGPA?
CGPA, very simple. Corn and Gary Processing Association. C, corn. G, Gary. P, processing. Then association.
Are you among the 76?
I can try again, even if I fall there.
Please don't listen to Jane. Of course, don't be forgotten. This is cumulative grade point average.
Okay, that's
cumulative grade point average.
CGPA.
Oh, now,
nice.
back
Okay.
in the university.
Thank
CGPA.
you. Corn and Gary just the enter. Okay.
But of course, you know that Gary is not even a poor man food.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, now what is CPU? CPU. Don't bring corn here.
CPU.
Don't bring potato here.
Okay, this is a
CPU.
CPU.
CPU. CPU.
And potato union. Yes, corn and potato union.
And this is what we're talking about. How would you have written your jam now?
No.
Central Processing.
No, wait. No, do you say CPU?
Central Processing Unit.
No, this corn potato
Of computer.
association.
Of computer.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Uncle Ben. And this is the much we can take today. We hope that you have been able to learn something to be able to put into action. Yeah. And for those who have been supporting Radio Maria, thank you so very much. For those who are here to support, you can send message to this number and let us know that you want to support. It's because of you that we're always here bringing you this content and many more. We love you. I will say bye for now.
Bye.